Hello and welcome to my first Super Smash Bros. Web video tutorial. One of the biggest complaints that I've seen people have about Smash 4's online for glory mode are spammers. You know, that guy who just launches out the same projectile over and over again, usually from a safe distance where no one can get the guy, something that's usually called camping. And one of the biggest offenders is Ness and his PK Fire. Well, as a Ness main, I'm here to give you my tips for getting over spammers, aka explaining to you why you're wrong and complaining and need to grow up. Note, this is just how I get over it. This may work for me, but it may not work for you. And I'm the darker one, player 1 by the way. Rule number 1. Accept that PK Fire is a strong move and therefore will be used. Of course people are going to use PK Fire in this game. It traps and sets up grabs which leads into combos. The move is really good, and if you're playing in a way that is predictable, of course they'll use it against you, but it is avoidable. Well, that actually depends. You see, PK Fire, if used with laser accurate precision and at the right moment, can trap the other player long enough to set up a bat. Look at that, I was winning by a lot. How cheap! But notice how I landed on it? It wasn't a direct hit. My playstyle was the reason why I ended up in this situation. Rule number 2. The key thing about PK Fire is knowing what to do and hit. Depending on where the flames are hitting you from, you can either roll out or jump out, usually with a mix of air dodging. Like right here when I try to use his own tactic against him. A direct hit from the front. There is no way he should be able to get out, but look at that. He did. Unlike me, he didn't land straight on the flame, and maybe there was something I could have done had I kept my cool and not spammed air dodge. So obviously there's a way out, and this player seemed to know how to do it. But he obviously really wanted to win because considering how effective his first spam session was, he was trying to recreate it. Rule number 3, PK Fire isn't even that great a move to spam, you whiny little bitch. One of the key things to beating your opponent is adapting to their playstyle. This is called reading. When you effectively read your opponent, you know what he's going to do and when. A good player can play his opponent like a damn fiddle. And right off the bat I can tell this guy wants to PK Fire me, so instead of rushing him like an idiot and getting hit, I take my time. Look at how all his PK Fire attempts are punished. You see, the thing about PK Fire is that it leaves you open for a while. It isn't exactly a move that comes out that quickly either. So there's always a window for punishing PK Fire. And if your opponent is spamming, aka just using the same move over and over again, aka playing extremely predictable because you know they're just going to use the same move over and over again, then you'll know when to punish it. But getting in is a concept itself. If you're too far, they'll be able to shield, roll, or dodge. If you come in too close, your jump will clip the PK Fire on the way up and trap you. So to properly punish, you need to understand the area of your character, the PK Fire, and the Ness. This is called spacing. You understand the limitation of your opponent's range, and therefore you maintain a distance where you're likely to get hits in and your opponent is going to miss. This concept can be applied here. As a Ness main, I know how far the move goes and where it will hit me. I have an idea of how close I need to be to get in on time to get in a hit. And the only way you'll get this skill is through experience, not by going on Smash boards to complain about Ness spammers or quitting after one match against a Ness spammer. Well, you're just gonna have to suck it up and realize that while being a really good move, it isn't that great a move to spam, because if you're playing against someone who knows what they're doing, you're going to get punished, and spamming is like giving them your playbook. And yes, there are people who primarily use PK Fire to beat others. These are the people who create the illusion that they're spamming when in reality they're just so good at reading you that they know where you'll be and when to use PK Fire. So is it cheap? Well, I ain't never seen a Ness win any major tournaments, so no, I'm inclined to think that it isn't cheap and you're just a salty little